10 out of 10. I'll just put that in there right now. Like, 10 out of 10. You don't even have to wait till the end to hear my thoughts.
If you like Die Hard, you'll probably like this movie, and I think it could become the rival of Die Hard for the Christmas season. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of It Takes Two. I'm Emily.
And I'm Quinlan.
And today we are talking about the Christmas movie of the season, starring our favorite David Harbour.
Oh my goodness.
Violent Night.
Yes.
Amazing.
10 out of 10. I'll just put that in there right now. Like, 10 out of 10. You don't even have to wait till the end to hear my thoughts.
It's immaculate. It's literally Die Hard meets Home Alone meets Santa Claus, like the movie series.
That's exactly, like, perfect description. I'll read you, like, a legit description real quick, just so you can kind of get in the vibe of what we're talking about here. So, an elite team of mercenaries breaks into a family compound on Christmas Eve, taking everyone hostage inside. However, they aren't prepared for a surprise combatant. Santa Claus is on the grounds, and he's about to show why this Nick is no saint.
He was not.
Oh my gosh. He was not. Going into this movie, obviously I thought it was going to be violent.
But it was so much bloodier than I expected.
Way more. I didn't realize it was rated R, first off, until about a few minutes into the movie, and I realized they were like, F this, F that. I'm like, this is R. And that was my first indication that it was R, because it hadn't quite gotten too violent or crazy at that point.
Yeah.
But just by hearing the language, I was like, oh, like, as soon as I heard that they were like, F this, F that, I was like, they're not going to hide anything in this movie.
No.
Because they're just jumping into it. Because a lot of movies have that, like, they try to keep it on the down low with the F-bombs so they can get a lower rating, bigger audience, whatever. But as soon as I read they said the F word like 5 times in 1 minute, and I was like, oh, that's what we're going down. I was like, okay, sounds good.
It was like Mortal Kombat kills, and I was here for every minute. I was laughing out loud at these kills.
Oh, I was cracking up. The barn scene or the shed or whatever.
With the ice skates?
With the ice skates? I was just like, fatality, fatality, fatality. I was like, finish him. You know, like, it was straight up Mortal Kombat in my head. He was just like, one dude, one Santa Claus. Like, mind you, like, this also is just crazy because he's legitimately Santa Claus. It's not some, like, ex-con dressed up as Santa Claus saves the day.
Actually Santa Claus.
Actually Santa Claus. He's got the magic bag. He flies a freaking sleigh. Like, he is Santa Claus. And then
but he's also a drunk too.
He's also a complete drunk at the beginning. He's down on him. He's like, I don't really steer much. The reindeer kind of do all that for me, you know. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it was so funny, and the amount of blood, I was like, they really aren't, like, because a lot of movies take their, like, they'll show you a kill but not show you a kill. Like, they're not gonna let you see all of the blood and all of the aftermath of every single thing.
They went the opposite way and put more blood in it than probably would actually come out of a person.
Oh, 100%. Especially, like, it was snowing, it was freezing, you know, like, they really were just like, we're gonna do it. Let's just do it right. And they just...
Okay, my biggest issue that's not really an issue that I was just confused about is his origin story. It's not even his origin, just his backstory. It's not a classic, like, Santa backstory. He was, like, a Viking or something.
Yeah.
And I think of Santa as more of, like, Norse, Dutch, like, that kind of era. I know, like, every culture and country has their own version, but I've never seen that version.
That straight up, like, Viking version of him. That was crazy.
With his hammer?
Yeah. Because he's got all the, like, at one point, we get a classic shirtless, scene of him, you know. He's
weird to have a shirtless Santa scene, but, you know.
But, you know, it was needed. Anyway, he's just, like, tatted out. Like, Straight up. I was like...
It was very, like, Norse Celtic tattoo,
yes,
too.
very, yeah. Like, that sort of, yeah, Celtic, tribal, like...
Something we don't have enough knowledge to directly say what its origin is, but...
Exactly. But it was, you could tell it had some significance to it. It wasn't just like he was tatted. It was, like, intricate, woven, every single piece that he had on him was, like, woven together. So it held some significance for him. We don't really know the significance very well, obviously, but we get enough to, like, know kind of, like, how Santa got to be so, like, stabby and good at killing people.
But we don't know how he got to be Santa,
but we
and
still
he explains that he doesn't even know how the Christmas magic works.
Yeah, like 8 times he's like, Santa, he's like, I got Christmas magic, that's cool, like, that's it. Nothing more.
He literally has no idea how it works. He's like, I don't really know.
Yeah, no, he's just got a bag, you stick his hands in, a present comes out. And he's like, I don't know, magic, sounds good. Good enough for me. And he's like, and it's not like he's newly Santa or anything, like, this is dating back to, like, as far as he can remember, he has been Santa, basically.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it was something else. This movie was crazy. I didn't know what I was signing up for when we got in there, but I'm glad it happened.
I was here for every minute of it. I took my roommate, and he was, like, not watching parts of it because he was like, oh, yeah, that's gross. I was in the chair laughing. I'm like, you probably think I'm psychotic right now.
Yeah. No,
but it was amazing.
Cracking up. Like, and some of the kills you could see coming. Like, the straight up nail through the chin. I was like, we all called it.
The Home Alone traps.
No, straight up Home Alone. And she's like, that was so much fun. We're like, she's a psychopath. Okay, first off.
But to be fair, if there were mercenaries in my house and I figured out how to do that, I'd be laughing too.
She's like, it was so much fun. She's like 8.
Like, and then he's like, sing Jingle Bells while he like murders another lady in front of her.
Yeah. So it was something else for sure. Crazy movie. Speaking of ages, okay?
Uh-oh.
This is my theater story, okay?
You actually have one this time?
I have one. I never have one.
You never have one?
Never. It's just normal day at the movie theater. Whatever. We get there. Our theater's always empty for some reason. We get in there, and there's like 6 people sitting in the very back. So I can't really see them. Right before the movie starts, a little girl and her mom walks in and head up to the back row with all the other people. And I look at Lila, I look at Pacey, and I'm like, is she about to find out some bad stuff about Santa right now? Because she's literally, like, I kid you not, like, 6. Like, I'm talking little. Like, old enough to know what's going on, but, like, not old enough to be watching this R-rated movie, that's for sure.
I wasn't even that little when I saw Die Hard for the first time. I was close, but I wasn't that little.
But Santa, you know, like...
Yeah.
What?
It's okay, at least she'll still think he's real.
Yeah, because they didn't ever tell you Santa's not real or anything, but they did kind of say it in the middle, though, when they're like, Santa's not real, and everyone's freaking out about Santa's not real.
But then Santa was like, but I am real.
But what if all she heard was Santa's not real? You know, like, what if she missed that? She's 6, you know? She's not gonna
I'm sure that's not the main thing she got out of this movie, so...
But I'm just saying. I was just shocked that they brought a 6-year-old into this movie.
I also have a theater story this week.
Okay.
But different than it normally is, okay?
Okay, I'm ready.
This was a dumb thing that happened.
Okay.
The audio kept turning off on the film while we were watching it. It'd just be like an intense moment, and then it'd just be... And so people in the back were like, somebody's gotta do it with me. We gotta start doing the voices.
That's funny.
It never really happened. Like, they did, like, a couple lines, but then it would, like, click back in. But it did it, like, 4 times during this movie.
Oh, that's annoying.
And I was like, is there really no one up there, like, to fix this? Because it would stay off for, like, a minute or two.
Oh, that's super annoying. Oh, my.
And I was like, is it because the theater we saw it in, like, that room had just been renovated to a Dolby theater?
Okay.
So is it tech issues? Is it what? Because it's the first thing we've seen in there.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it their copy? Is something buggy? Like, it could have been anything, but it was really annoying.
Yeah, that is. I'd be pissed off. Shit.
I'm really surprised there was, like, no Karens in our theater that were just, like, freaking out about it.
For real. I mean, that's a lot of, like, I mean, not a lot, but I watch movies with captions at home, so, like, I would still know what was happening, but, like, in a movie theater, you only have captions at certain showings, so, like, you totally miss what is happening. Like,
yeah. Well, not just that, but if we didn't have our movie passes, so our movie passes are like $24, $25 a month, right? And we can see 3 movies a week.
Yeah.
A ticket for this showing alone, a singular ticket, was $25.
Jeez.
Yeah, so I'm like, if I paid $25, I would have been complaining.
Yeah. I would have been.
But I was like, I have my movie pass, so, like, it basically doesn't
I could really
count
see
for
it
me.
again if I wanted to, you know, like.
Yeah, like, I see 2 movies a month and I'm saving money. Like,
exactly.
And I've seen more than 2 movies this month, so.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. I mean,
yeah.
The movie passes are 100% worth it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what theater you go through, the movie pass is worth it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, ours is $21 a month.
I think ours would be that too if we lived in Oregon.
Yeah,
but
that's what
Washington and California are both, like, the top tier level, so we have to pay them more.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
And I only can see movies in Oregon. There's a step up from mine that I could see movies in other states. As long as it was my, like, the Regal or whatnot.
AMC does it weird. So, like, their lowest tier has, like, 18 states that you can see movies in. Their second tier is, like, maybe add an extra 20. Okay. And then the top tier is everything else.
The more expensive states, so being in California, you had to opt
like
for that
New
top
York,
tier. Okay.
California, Seattle, you know, like,
you had to buy the top tier in order to get your.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah.
A little weird, but I would have liked to pick a 1-state bundle, but it is nice when I travel that I can just, like, still go see movies.
Whenever, wherever.
Yeah.
That's
as long as there's
cool.
an AMC.
Yeah,
unlike Oregon.
There's, like, 4 in the entirety of Oregon. That's it. Anyways,
we should probably talk more about the
back
movie.
to our movie. Now that we talked about our movie passes forever. Blood, more blood, cussing. It was kind of refreshing to see a movie, like, cuss every 5 minutes, because that's my language. I do that.
Fair.
So it was kind of like, it's funny when I watch TV shows and, like, you never see anybody, like, because TV shows have a very strict, like, they can kind of, they say crap, or maybe they can say shit every once in a while, you know, like, that's it. But
I always think of Supernatural, and when they, like, pull it out randomly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's, like, every, like, 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's, like, 1 a season, maybe. And it's, like, bitch is something that they can say a little bit more on some shows for some reason. And then,
well, it depends on the channel, because certain channels are rated differently,
So, yeah, all those things. But this movie, like, my favorite part, okay, the little girl, she's on the walkie-talkie talking to Santa Claus.
I know exactly what you're gonna say.
What are you gonna do? And he's like, I give the naughty people coal, and I'm gonna shove it up there. And she's like, ass. And he's like, hey, hold on, you're gonna want to stay on the nice list. And she's like, can I say butthole? And I was, like, dead at that. I was like,
he's like, that's borderline.
They just say butthole like that. And then he was like, okay, I get you, like, calm down. And she's like, okay, what about anus? And then he's like, I guess that's the anatomically correct term, but And then
she was my favorite. I love her.
She was so funny. She was cracking me up. I literally, and then so the whole like we'll talk a little bit more about the family, I guess, that we're following, the hostages. Um so we're at grandma's house. And grandma is some fancy rich filthy rich
politician
lady.
From what I gather, or at
From
least like political lobbyist.
something, because she's talking to a senator or something at some point.
And the money, the big issue was
yes,
some government payout.
So she is some sort of big government official of some sort. Um, and then her two kids, she's got a daughter and a son, and then they have their families with them. And that's pretty much the whole.
We need to go over what the grandkids' names are.
Oh, 100%. So we find out grandma's name is Gertrude. And her two kids, the son and daughter or whatever, they are total kiss ups. Like, they want mommy's money, so they're gonna do whatever they can to get mommy's money, and that includes getting their children bullied for the rest of their lives because they named them the stupidest names they could have.
Okay, so they both were naming their kids after the grandmother, whose name is Gertrude. Now, one of the kids, at least it makes sense for, because Gertrude is traditionally a female name.
Yes.
So he names his daughter Gertrude. She goes by Trudy. The grandma's a little insulted and says her name should be, what, Gert? That's what they call her?
Yeah. Gertie?
Gertie? Little
yeah,
weird?
She said Trudy is a whore's name. That's what she said.
She did. To the little girl.
To the little girl. And she's like, oh, she doesn't know what it means. But, okay, Gertrude.
But then, the grandson.
The grandson, yes. His name
Bertrude.
is Bertrude. He technically, yeah, so they call him Bert, Bertie, whatever. They do anything but call him Bertrude the whole time. At one point they just like drop the bomb that his name is Bertrude, and we're like, what the heck? Like,
don't they also just look at him and go just like, shut up, Bertrude.
Shut up, Bertrude. Yeah, like so it's funnier is because like the sister had the son first. The son is not significantly, but he is older than Bertrude is older than Gertrude. And so they were trying to get
he's at least 15. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like 8, 9, 10, 8, something like that. She looks way older than 8, but
they're playing her as
like 8. She's playing as like 8. So yeah, so there's a good age gap between them. So yeah. So the one person, the daughter, names her kid Bertrude. Yeah, they're literally, he's just like, so we're streaming at grandma's house, like, here we go. And he's like, totally the whole thing. Like,
he definitely did that with a dead body at one point.
Yeah. And then when the Wi-Fi went out, he's like, what the fuck, grandma? Like, because the mercenaries cut the power, because obviously they're trying to take over, and they don't realize they're hostages yet at this point. And he literally turns around, he's like, what the fuck, grandma? Or, what the beep, grandma? Like, he's mad. And another really strong character we get is, or strong, I guess he comes on kind of strong, but
the
actor. So the oldest daughter or whatever, I don't even know if she's technically the oldest daughter, but she's like married, dating, who knows. And like for Christmas, he got the grandma a like screenplay and was like, a golden opportunity for you to invest in my future. Like,
it was a pitch deck for his film, and I was dead.
I was like, okay, pop off, I guess. Like,
so for Christmas this year, I am getting you a reason to give me money.
A golden opportunity is what he called it. And that's what the movie is. They're trying to get this government payout that Emily said earlier. Finds out that they have it at this house and they want the money. And then the whole movie is like them trying to get it, so they start sending in all these people, trying to kill all these people, and then Santa Claus saves the day.
He really does. My favorite thing is when he patched up his own wound with wrapping paper.
Oh, I know. He used like an ornament and a candle to like sterilize, and then
that was the only part that I was like a little woozy over. I was just like, stitches, your own stitches, can't do it.
Yeah. The what? One part made me gag. I don't even remember what it was.
Was it the eye socket?
No, that one, I mean, it was gross, but it didn't give me that.
Oh, was it the finger?
No, it wasn't. I'm trying to think. There was literally one thing where I was like, I'm dead.
See, I don't do bones cracking, because that just is traumatic for me, but...
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm trying to think of what it was, but... I think it was probably the nail through the chin. It was in that scene area. I don't remember exactly which.
When he ripped his face off the nail, that was probably, a little gross.
That's probably what it was. Because I was like, it's somewhere in that area of the film, like with those booby traps. Like, one of those got me good.
I basically saw it all coming except for the actual impact of death.
Oh, yeah.
I was not expecting him to be holding the nail like this.
Oh, that part too. And I was like, the bowling ball's gonna come and knock him down again. And like,
yeah, then I thought he was just gonna get like stabbed again.
And then he was holding it. I was like, are you kidding me? You just saw like 10 bowling balls come out. Like, why did you not think there was another one?
They never quit when they're down. Like, if that happened to me, I would have just stayed at the bottom and been like, she can deal with it.
Hey, you good? Like, I wouldn't have went up there. No. But
especially when she climbs over your head,
I hooked on a nail. You're hooked there, and she's like stepping on you, trying to get up. I was like, oh god.
See, I wasn't expecting this movie to be this bad when we started watching it until they shot the gate guard, and I was like, oh, I liked him.
I know, that was like the first, like, oh, this is about to like get crazy.
This is gonna be intense.
Because you get this like gate guard, and he's like, oh yeah, haha, I don't want to be working, you know, it's Christmas, like, why would I want to be here? And you're like, oh, he's kind of nice. And then boom, ruthless, dead, just cold-blooded.
I was a little mad we didn't get violent Mrs. Claus showing back up at the end and just like,
yeah,
that would have been
Mrs. Claus. She would have been like wielding that hammer. Bah. That was cool. When he picked up that sledgehammer.
Yes.
And he was just like whipping it around and just boink, 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 dead. That was cool.
That entire scene where he just like takes out the entire Black Op Commando troop.
Yeah. Like
iconic.
50 of them. 50 of them. I was like, how many are there, and how big is this garage? Because how is nobody hearing any of this? And Paige is like, why are there fences in the garage? And I was like, it just makes sense, I guess. Like,
and they all have night vision and like
Santa's
gear on Santa. And everything. And they just like, they get whooped.
Yeah. Once Santa had that sledgehammer, there was no going back.
No.
No.
It was an awakening.
He was like, Christmas is real. That was it. I was like, okay, Santa. Like,
I love that he tried to pull out gifts that would help him the entire time, and he's just like, video game, video game, video game.
It's like a gift card, video game. Like, yeah, that was funny. I was like, oh, well, I guess that's kind of true. Like, half of the things I wanted for Christmas were, like, video games, so...
Well, this movie's perfect. You need to go see it. Go see it right now, buy your tickets. It's bloody and amazing.
It's unlike any Christmas movie you ever will see.
If you like Die Hard, you'll probably like this movie, and I think it could become the rival of Die Hard for the Christmas season.
For the Christmas season. That's a pretty good comparison there.
Well, I'm gonna go bake some cookies.
Ooh, send me some.
I'll bring you some. I'm coming to see you for Christmas. I'll be there at some point.
At some point soon. Okay.
And with that, we'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace out, Cub Scout.